Alright, welcome back, guys. So, I planned on doing the changeover for this down south, where we started it down over there, and then I decided there just isn't enough room down there. So, I'm gonna go ahead and move it up here, and I'm going to leave this, well, I'm gonna leave this part in for right now. And I made more liquefiers, but I made liquefier 2s so we can upgrade most of these when we get done. But for right now, we want to get started on making the Coke, which is going to be that recipe right there. They're going to put out sulfuric wastewater, which we need to get to the washing plant. We're probably going to end up putting a washing plant up here. I'm thinking probably over in this area we'll do our sulfuric wastewater, maybe even over in this area, probably up here so we don't have to cut down the trees. And then I also made an algae farm 2 so we can get started on making that algae that we need to make carbon from algae. So we're going to try to really upgrade all of this today. We do have steam taken care of at the moment, or power taken care of at the moment. This is barely putting out enough, but it's putting out enough to keep the energy running. It's not keeping out enough. The iron just started running again because the carbon, as you can see, that line is pretty well empty. So everything we've got going for carbon production right now is just keeping our boilers running. I'm guessing a lot of the power drain has to do with the fact that I think we have completely ran out of stearite, or almost ran out of it. So this is not running anymore. So it's not that we've really fixed the power issue. It's more that we're using less power now than what we were. Because these aren't running full time. I also went ahead and did the lithium processing so we can get to the battery 2s eventually. And if we want to start making the lithium, we can. I'm going to go ahead and do that electric boiler now. I also did the pump jack research, but that one kind of confuses me, as that the pump jack research was running and I already had the pump jack ready. So I'm not quite sure what it actually gave us access to. Let me see if I can find it down here. There it is. So that says it gives us the pump jack recipe, but when I came and looked in here, I already had this recipe. So I don't know if there's more than one recipe or what it is, but something was funky there too. So you've already seen me set up the Coke down yonder. I'm going to go ahead and work this all out, and I'll be back to show you what I ended up with. And then we'll work on getting it up and upgraded those and all the sulfuric wastewater and all that good stuff. So see you back in a bit. Alright, I figure this is a good place to bring you guys back. So I got the liquefiers down here, and they're running to make Coke. I I went ahead and set up 4 of them. I don't have the second set actually done yet. I only had the first set done. Let's get that dealt with, I guess. There, that'll take care of that. Then we can do that. And there we go. Now we got both of those kicking us out coke, which is going to be sending it up here and making it into carbon. The issue being the sulfuric wastewater at the moment, because we just got these 2 set up, which we need to get the purified water and the mineralized water out of these, which the mineralized water is going to be running to here. This is going to be making green algae from mineralized water and carbon dioxide. So now we can run this over here. We are probably going to need a lot more of these, is my guess, but for right now we're going to stick with just the 1 and see how it works. And then the purified water, we're going to take that out and we're going to send it over to this line right here, and we're going to use the let's see, which one is it? Overflow or top up? Allows flow input side is above 80% if the output side is below 80%. So I think that's the one we want. Is basically we want the purified water to come from over here before it comes from our main setup down yonder. So it should take this purified water and use it before it uses this purified water. I don't think that's working the way I expected that to work. I think the top up one, that is the top up one. Let's change it to overflow and see if my brain is working backwards. Because that should keep that above. It still looks like it's taking... Maybe I could run them in conjunction. Allows flow if the output side is below 80. So if I take that out and I put that in, that should keep it above 80. And then put that one in, and that won't let any water to go out unless it's below. Maybe that'll work. Otherwise I can use a pump and circuits, but I think that might work. Alright, so we need to get that hooked up to there. Now we need to get the carbon dioxide into here, which we're going to be using a liquefier to turn our algae into carbon dioxide, but we're going to have to feed this carbon dioxide into it for the moment, which is coming from making our lime, which we are full on. So we're not actually making any carbon dioxide at the moment. Which we can easily fix that by just cutting that and telling it to make 2 stacks. So then we should start making our lime again as soon as those get down, and that'll get us a little bit of carbon dioxide. So we need to run this up. Let's see. We can do that. Which now I got a bunch of crap in my inventory I gotta get rid of. And again, most of this will be supplied by itself, hopefully, once we get the algae actually made. So we just got to get some made first. And we'll basically do a valve setup right there as well that won't let carbon dioxide come into this pipe unless it's needed. So now we're going to send this out over here on this side, which means we got to get electric around this thing. Which actually, you know what? This is going to spit out like 50 at a time. So we're going to use that. And then the liquefier. And that is going to be for carbon dioxide from wood pellets. So we got to make the wood pellets first. So the wood pellets come from cellulose. Alright, so that's going to be 2 assemblers first. So we can do here and here. Oops. And then we'll do there and there. So this will be the cellulose. And then this will be the cellulose fiber to wood pellets. We're probably going to be making a lot more of this. Ah, crap. That just a little bit too close. And actually, I think I'm going to move it over here, because there's a good chance we're going to end up with a lot more of these. And I also think we're probably going to put in a silo. Gotta remember where they're at. There we go. So I'm going to make a silo to put this stuff in, since we're probably going to be making a butt ton of it. Let's go ahead and just have it go about right there. And we can do a loader into it. And then that'll let this run, which will allow these to run. which we still got to get the sulfur out of both of these, which we'll just put on a line like that. And we're going to end up putting a box for the moment. We'll end up with processing that probably into sulfuric acid at some point, or using it for explosives. But for right now, that'll take care of that. So these will be able to run, which means that these will be able to run, which means we can have more carbon. Alright, so let's start setting up the carbon fiber stuff. I'm going to go ahead and do think like that. That way we can expand this further. So this needs to be green to cellulose, which we can run our line right there. And then this is going to be into wood pellets, which we can then run out along there. And then we need the liquefier I do believe is what we need to make it into carbon dioxide. And then we're going to send the carbon dioxide down from here and into right there, which we got to do the whole valve thing that I got to hopefully get figured out exactly right. Go ahead and get our inserters in here. We're probably going to need more than one on some of these, but I'll at least get us a decent start. Stop moving me around. Sometimes it's kind of nice to have them move you around like that, and other times it's really freaking annoying. Alright, so we're going to have this come out down here and run like that. And this is going to take how many? 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. Alright, so we're definitely going to need 2 of these. That should get us 10 before the next, which it does. And the output looks like it's just fine. They get out quick enough. And then this needs well more than 10. I'm going to put 2 on there. Looks like it needs about 12 of them. So we're definitely going to have to put in another one of these. We're probably not going to be running the second one very often. If we do, we're going to have to put in Because it looks like it's approximately 3 of these to 1 of these. And then we're definitely only going to need 1 of these at the moment. I'll leave the other one there for when we inevitably ramp it up. We've got tons of algae. Now, let's see. This one can hold 1,000 units of fluid and can be connected to a wire. Only allows one directional flow. Allows flow if the input side is above. Oh, that's if the input is below. That's my problem. I'm an idiot. I'm not paying attention to what it says. So this one will allow flow if the output side is below 80. So I don't want the top up or the overflow for this. I want this to come out, and I want it like that to where this will only get put into this pipe if there isn't enough already in there. Sometimes it takes a bit before my brain starts working properly. Alright, so this one, we want to take that one out, we want to put that one in, and now this should barely be getting used. This should be running most of the time. I hope I have that right now. So the only thing holding us up here is the mineralized water. So we definitely need to make more of the algae farms to deal with that. And if we're making more algae farms, that's going to be good because we're actually running low, running down with the amount of these that we have going. So I'm going to ramp all of this over here up. And we're also going to look at the charcoal production as well. By the way, I've just been doing research on crafting and movement, mining, stuff like that for right now, because I haven't quite figured out. Ooh, there we go. Capacity bonus. We definitely want that one. I'll probably never do the near one. We could start on lasers, which will give us laser turrets. We don't really have the power for them right now, but we could definitely start on that soon. And I'm not quite sure what I need next, so I'm not really... Flammables would probably be good, since we're going to start doing oil. That'll give us solid fuel that we can make for what we're not using for plastics. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ramp up the algae stuff. I'm gonna probably make about 4 more of these, or 3 more of these algae farm 2s, and see if that'll be enough to keep this running. And then start on making the charcoal and into carbon there. Let's see how... Yeah, these aren't running much because having to deal with that sulfuric. And it actually doesn't look like they're putting out too much of it at the moment. when it is running, so I probably need to work on getting more of these in as well. Our carbon's getting better. We're at least sending some that direction, which we're still good on production at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to work on ramping all this up, and I'll be back with you guys in the next one. Have a good one.